Okay, everyone, here's the panel removed. This speaker's still in place. Notice that I told you guys a lie about the connections, which is going to lead me to another project, which I will put in its own video, just to kind of explain what I'm talking about. This particular end is indeed the commercial created end of the strip that I bought. And light's great, looks really good. Adhesive stinks, sucks, whatever you want to say. But my thought process was, I thought to use the both ends here that were commercially made and to use a handcrafted connection on the back box. But apparently, I used the other end because both ends of the strips will have a commercial end on it, so you can keep connecting, as you see fit, using gender benders. So that's how you'll connect them to your various, you connect your components. Anyway, but I see where on this side I created my own connection using one of these purchased little connector cables. So, of course, it's gender neutral. It's female, so you can use your benders accordingly to connect pieces. This end will connect to the end of your LED strip. This is a remnant from the back box project. I just kept it. I have no clue why, but apparently this is probably the only time it'll ever get used. So just to kind of show you what you do, basically, you open up the clip on the, and it's kind of hard to do with one hand, on the connector. You'll open up this end, and it's got the 4 tabs that match the copper pieces here that you'll connect into. All you've got to do is strip back the rubber coating that's on top of this sucker, which is a pain in the butt to do. Exposing the copper leads to the contacts that are inside the plug. Basically push it in there, clip it closed, and at that point you've got a cable. So I'll show you how to do that in the next video, but because I'm going to clean up that spot I showed in the first part of the video where I'm missing lighting. So you can see it now on this particular ring. This is the ring that was closest to me in the other video. I've got a whole spot about 1 inch long where there's no lighting, and man, it annoys the crap out of me. No one else notices it, but I notice it. So we're going to fix that by creating a ring to go inside another ring, create a manual cable. So that's about it. Just kind of walk you through these splitters. So the way this is set up currently, and I'll probably change it after I complete all this, is this is the end coming in from the body of the cabinet. So we were creating our, we split the original source, and then we put an extension cable on the split to get us to here. Now, we have to split to get our sources for the speakers, plus an additional source to run up to the back box. So we've split. We're running one here. Here's our next splitter that gives us 2 more sources. One goes to the secondary speaker, and then the last one goes up into the back box that allows you to connect the back box lighting. So that's basically about it with this. I will quickly go over some of the things I think I already have with in regards to some of the stuff that was used in the project, other than splitters and extensions, and of course you have to have your lighting. Way to create cables yourself, or create small or smaller scale light strips using that. In the back box itself, or on the back box project, all those 90-degree corners, we're done with these. It's basically the same principle as the create a cable. It's got the same end, so you basically open it up. I'm going to say basically probably 100 times. So we can do this with one hand. I can't. but you'll see it in the other video. But you'll open up that clip, which I about had open. I just heard it clip back. Let's see if we can do it real quick. There we go. All right. So what that does is that gives you the little clips that the strip will go under, and that they're bent, so they'll put a little bit of pressure on it, and then you're going to clamp over it to push those down onto those copper connectors, and that's how you get your lights to work. And of course, making sure that your black is positive. Again, someone with a little bit of electrical skills, black's always negative, so it blows my mind, but we'll get over it. Anyway, so hopefully this helps anybody that's considering wiring up their speaker panel. Lastly, I do need to go, we talked about the rings, and I don't know why I'm so hooked on getting rid of this 1-inch gap in my lighting that I'm forgetting some of the core things we should be talking about. So this is where the ring is set up, and let's unplug it just to kind of give you a better idea of what's going on here. Very simple to do. So these are, I think, default 5-inch rings. Again, I'll put them in the description of the video so you guys can link. They're accessible or available, excuse me, on Amazon. And the only thing I did to them to customize them was, of course, created the notch to get the cable into them. So I want to say I even did that with maybe an X-Acto knife. I'm not even sure if it, but I mean, you can cut it with whatever, Dremel, a file, anything that'll allow you to create that gap. And of course, just leave the frame, the bottom part of the frame in place. It's still sturdy. There's just a little bit of flex if you push on it, but it's still functional, fully functional. And this bolt pattern fits perfectly as far as with the back panel or with the speaker panel. So I didn't have to do any drilling there. The only thing I did was I did go to my toolbox, found some extra long screws that did fit the thread pattern, stuck a bunch of washers on them since they were a little too long, but I ended up finding 4, so I'm only using 2 in each speaker, crisscrossed. And excuse me, that holds in place just fine. So that may be a little bit of a challenge, is to find the longer speaker screw, since these do have, of course, the speaker panel has the inserts already in it, the threaded insert pressed into it from the other side. So that's it. So next video will be fixing the gap. We're going to eliminate that lighting gap that annoys the crap out of me.